Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to do a playthrough of Enemy Action Ardennes, Battle of the Bulge, 1944 from Compass Games. And this is the Allied solo. So we're doing our setup here. So we're going to show you the setup because it's a little different than the German solo. First thing, of course, is up here. We're using the Allied solo map. So that's the first thing. And if you notice right here, you have this calendar section. And I didn't even notice this when I was playing the German solo, but the game actually provides us with a separate calendar sheet for the Allied solo calendar and one for the German. The nice thing about this is it's bigger. It's a full 8.5 by 11 versus that little 3 by 5 or whatever it is up there. So this is much better. And so I've got all the counters placed there. I have down here all the counters placed here per their assignments. So such as, if you remember, they have a four-digit code number. That's their hex location. So everything is placed there, just like the German does. A couple of changes, but everything's placed. And then the difference here is, and then I have, of course, my Allied command card display. But here we have this little deal right here. I'm trying to get my camera set right here. So this is a one-time use right here. And what this simulates at the beginning of the game is what happened on that surprise attack. And this is where the variation comes in for this game from playthrough to playthrough, because you draw these cards and they come out in a certain order. So we have German setup cards right here. And give them a quick shuffle. I've been shuffling them. I haven't ever used these yet, so I'm trying to get them mixed up real good. And then what we do is we start drawing the cards and we place them, and we got to have one in every core, and one core has to have 3, and we don't stop doing that until we get it played out that way. So we start with the 80th core, so they get their first card. Then we get the 47th core. Then we get the 66th core. Now we get one of the 67th or 57th core. Here is the 67th Panzer Corps. These so far we've hit, well, we've hit one for every one. Okay, here we go. Back up here, he has 2 now. There's the first SS. This is the what did I mess up down here? I feel like I've got one of these wrong. Oh, I do. Gee whiz. This one's got 3 cards. There we go. There's that one. Okay, well, I messed that up a little bit. That's okay. All right, everybody's got one. And then all of these. Now, the way this next works is you do these one at a time and you alter the battle position over here, the starting position. So we'll start with, oh, come on, here we go. With the 67th Corps. And what we do is we match this picture, and this comment doesn't matter. So I come to the game board and I make sure everything's the same over here. So we come up here and we're going to be up here in this area right here. And we're going to match this up, and it shows 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So nothing changed. So it stayed the same. That's the end of that one. We go to the first SS. Now, these go in order the way that you draw them here. Kind of zoomed in. So this card's first. This card's second. So we do it that way. We come to the first SS. I know it's too close. Again, we ignore this. The C is going to matter for the next card. And now I got to go through here, and you can see it's very small. I got to go through here and move all these. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I had to get my magnifying glasses out to read them cards, make sure I'm getting too old for this. So we had some combat. We have a prepared position. We had a allied unit, 14th Cav. He got dispersed. SS unit, and he has a loss, a step loss on that one. So that was the first card. Now we take this next card, and because the other card was a C and this is card number 2, we actually go to 2C on the card. So there's 2A, 2C. And now we perform all of these moves. So I'm going to do that next. Okay, so for this one, these SS units, they moved up. So they're staying in contact right there. All right, next we go to the 66th Corps, A Corps. And again, we're going to do the picture and set everything to that one. So I'll do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so for this one, we had our unit moved back 2 spaces, and he has a dispersed, but no step loss. Let me make sure of that. He's a 2 of 3. Yeah, no step loss. This unit moved up. This one took a step loss. This one's here, and I got a improved position there. All right, next we go to the 58th Panzer Corps. That's these guys, and now I got to go through and do theirs. Okay, so these guys, they lost a step on that 28th Corps division, and they're dispersed. The Panzer unit crossed the bridge, the infantry unit's up, and these guys moved down to there. All right, so it takes care of them. Now comes the unit that gets 3 of these things. So we go 1. So what I'm doing is I'm placing these cards on this little tracker here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we start with the first one. It's the B card. Okay. This is the 67th. No, the 47th Panzer Corps. That's this big group right down here. So they're going to get a lot of something going on. Okay, so we'll get started on this one next. Okay, for this one, had a step loss, and they got pushed back and they're dispersed. We have an infantry unit, an armor unit that crossed. We have a blown bridge, and then the rest of these stayed where they were. So that's it for that one. So now we go to, oops. We go to the A card, and so the first card was B, so we do 2B. So now I got to move these in German control of that bridge, most likely. So let me go through this one now, see what we get. Okay, so my second card shows that this infantry unit moved. They took control of this small town. They crossed over the river and they moved up this way. So we do one more, and this one is the number 3 step. So now I move them, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so he lost a step. The unit that was here got eliminated. He's over here now in the eliminated stack. And they repaired that destroyed bridge. Okay. Next is the 85th Corps. So we got to set everything like that, and let's see what we got. Okay, so we got a blown bridge and a blown bridge here, and he took a step loss, and so our last one is the 80th Corps down here, and so I'll set it, and then we'll have everything set. So we're almost there. Okay, so the only thing that really happened down here, these two units, they swap positions, and we have the blown bridge right there. And I think, and that takes care of the setup cards. And that means that all of this stuff here now comes off the board. And I won't be using it anymore for this game. We'll put it away, put it in the box, put it away, and then we'll get ready to see what's next on our setup. Okay, so to finish the setup, I got a couple things to do. One, I put the German command cards, that's his discard deck, and then these are his command cards. There's 14 of them there. And then for me, over here, for the Allied, we have 3 primary cards. These were our supplementals, and I get 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put these with the primary and shuffle them up real good. As good as I can with this small amount of cards. Alright, and I get 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my starting hand. That's going to be U.S. Army No Command, the 3rd Army 8th Corps, 1st Army 5th Corps, and 1st Army 18th Airborne Corps. Okay, so that's the cards I'll be starting with. And then over here we have to move our reserve units. So the U.S. reserve units move, the German reserve units do not. They don't move until they get the Army Group B card comes up, and then all their reserve units that are on the board will come on to their reserve unit spot and then be activated that way. Until that happens, they won't get any reserves. Okay, so we're ready to start playing on December 16th. And the way this works is I get 1 card out of these 4, and then I replenish it. And when I run out of cards, I'm out. And then we play until the Germans use up all of their command cards. And then when they're done, even if I have cards in my hand, that's it. It's over. Okay. So this is where I'm at. So I have to decide. I can deploy 9th Armored Division reserves if I want. I'm going to kind of need to, I think, down here to try to stop this mess that's plowing through right there. In fact, I think that's exactly what I need to do. As much as I'd like to bring on the 5th Corps or the 18th Corps, I think right now we need the U.S. 3rd Army 8th Corps, and we need to deploy the 9th Armored Division reserves. So that's the one that we're going to use. And I have 2 of them that are available, so I can bring them both on. Now when I do deploy them like that, they're both going to come into the same hex. That'll go into my, that's a supplemental card, it'll be a discard. It goes there. And let's see on my chart, I'm sure it's going to tell me here where I can deploy to without having to go back to the rules. But if I don't find it, then I will check that out. So let me find this real quick. Okay, both these units have the S on them. So these are strategic, and they come under the Allied Alternate Reserve Deployment. A unit marked with an S or with an entry date earlier than the current date, which is not, may be placed in any supply head hex in the unit's core area, and at least 5 hexes from an enemy town, city, or unit, excluding isolated German units. And I don't have anybody isolated. So, 5 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, means I can be put into Bastogne. And that just reminded me I had something else I had to do for the setup. The fuel markers, and they're all 3 are yeses. First one comes in up here at Bollinger, and then the other 2 I get to choose where I want them. I'm putting 1 in Marsh and 1 in Werbomont. So that's where the 3 fuel markers are. The other 2 are not on the board. They don't go on the board. It's just those. Okay, so I know where the fuel markers are. All right, that was my play. Now for the Germans, we draw 2 cards for his impulse. He gets 5th Panzer Army and 6th Panzer Army. And so the one with the highest, because neither one of them are a primary card, the one with the highest number is the command card, and this becomes the support card. So we go down through here looking at the card. Special ground freeze, no, it's not a German turn. Not turn 20 to 29. Activate all units in the core. So we activate all units in 12th Corps. In the 1st SS Panzer Corps. Okay, so we activate the units. Now we got to see what they do. Okay, so one of the things we have to do is this German command activation sequence. There's no roadblock marker. Relocate an objective marker if required. No. Move active on map units. No. Infantry conduct attack. So we have to place a unit activation. We need to place out their objective marker. Okay. So we're going to roll a die, 1 to 6, 7 to 9, die 10 for the 1st SS is part of the 6th Panzer Army. So that's going to be our marker, and then we have these little markers like this, 6th Panzer Army West, and whatever we roll, that's where he's going to go. So we roll a 10-sided die, and we get a 3. Okay, so a 3 for them, die roll 1 to 6. A 3 is going to be Malmedy. So that is going to be where their next objective is going to be. So I got to locate Malmedy. There it is, right there. Okay, so we put his objective on Malmedy. Right there. And that's where those guys are going to try to get to. So that's where they're headed. So we now have an objective for those guys. Okay. So here's Malmedy, and that's the objective for the 6th Panzer Army. Okay, so we're going to work through this a little bit, what we're doing here. Okay, because we know that we activated our unit, which now creates. So the other document I'm using is from Board Game Geek in the files, is the Enemy Action Ardennes booklet version 1.02 Allied Solo. So it helps. It gives a little detail, easy to follow. So it's got the movement method. So we start checking all these units. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to identify each one of these stacks with this little white marker here. Now the reason I'm doing that is I got to keep track of who's moved and who hasn't. I'm going to have to go grab a couple more of my little beads here. I like these because they're easy to grab with that hole in the middle. There's got to be a few more here. Woo! They roll though. All right, one there. And one there. Okay, we're going to work through this thing now. Hopefully I'll get this right. Okay, I'm not going to supply units. All my units are in supply right there. They're not going to exit the map. A supplied unit may exit the map, not exiting, and not moving adjacent to the Meuse River. Enter an empty Allied VP hex and stop. Okay, so Allied VP hex is here. We're not there, so we don't have that. Move closer to objective and adjacent to a VP hex. Again, I don't have the ability to do that. Cause a surround. Okay. So, do I have somebody that can cause a surround here? He doesn't have a zone of control. He would cause that, but he would have to disengage from these guys. So, would he really do that, or would he stay there in that combat? This guy could come down here. And they've got, that would cause a surround if he moved down here on these guys. Question is, can he get there? Let's see, this is infantry. These guys are infantry units. And let's see, this is broken terrain and then clear terrain. So that's one each. So he could move 1, 2. He gives a zone of control here. He has a zone of control here. He has a zone of control here. So it does create a surround. Okay. More than one hex that would cause surround adjacent to an Allied unit, hex that would block supply trace. Okay, I believe this unit, these three guys here, would move down to here. And this would come off of there. And now signifies that they've moved. Okay. They can't get anywhere where they're going to create a surround because it's already there. Cause the surround. And he's already surrounded by these guys. So they're all surrounded there. So they don't fulfill that. Okay. So the next thing we do, so that was methods 1 to 4. Now we check methods 5 to 9. Apply only to infantry non-mechanized on turns 16 to 22. So he's not infantry, he's both. And these are all armor. So they wouldn't move on 5 to 9 because on turns 16 to 22 apply only to infantry non-mechanized. That is to enable infantry to strengthen the German lines. Okay. So then we go 10 to 13. We're going to follow movement arrows. Okay. So we start with this guy. So his movement arrow is pointing that way. He is armored, and that is woods. So that would take him 3. Okay, here we go. So this guy would go, we're going to move him. He's first. He goes 3. Now he's on the road. 4. And he can move there, which makes him 5. So we're going to move him in there. And I'm going to leave him kind of off-centered right there. He was there. He went 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. Why do I think I just messed something up with that guy? I gotta look now. Hang on. Okay, so I put this guy back because I had a counter that got moved. He was supposed to be there. This guy right here. I went back and looked at all my stuff. That's where he's at. This guy, this Piper division, he's a 6, so he can't go in there because it's gives him an 8 and your stacking limit is 6. So his primary arrow is there and he can't move there, and his secondary arrow is here and he can't move there, so he can't move. Okay, that brings me now to this guy. He goes 3, 4, 5. Now we'll put him in here, right here with this guy. Okay, like that. And then my last guy, his primary arrows, he doesn't have one, so he would follow the road. It would be a 1. His primary arrow would be this way 2. Three, 4. They're at 5. He can't move in there. None of them guys can move in there. He doesn't have a secondary arrow, so he would stop there. Okay, so they moved. All right. Whew. All right. Can't do an unsupplied. We're good. Okay. We don't have detachments yet. So now we go into, we don't place reserves or detachments, so now we do attack. Check each active unit with 2+ steps that has not attacked and adjacent to an allied unit that has not been the target of an attack. Check. The unit being checked is the lead unit in ascending order. 2+ steps. So this guy is an 8, he's an 11. This guy is he's a bracketed unit. This guy's a 9. Here we have 6, 4, and 5. And down here we have 14, 15, 16. They can't attack. So the first guy would be this one, right here. Calculate the situational strength ratio, German strength to Allied strength. The lead unit and include the strengths of the following additional units. Active units adjacent to the target that have not attacked. So we have him and we have them. So we're talking about these two right here. they have supply. Do not actually place any. If the support card has assault coordination, all non-active German units adjacent to the defender. Okay, so we have this guy. He's only adjacent to this one here. So there are 5. He is 8 and 5 is 13, 14, 16 to 5. So he's 3 to 1. If situational strength is greater than 4 to 1, conduct the attack. Greater than or equal to 4 to 1. It's less than 3 to 1, and all attackers in low supply attack cancel. No. It is less than 1 to 1 attack cancel. Greater than 1 to 1, roll the die, consult the table. -1 for each of the following. It's turn 16. Only German has elite. Yeah, I don't have elite there. Does he have elite? Not there. Not there. He does not have elite. German activated by an army or group card. This is the 6th Panzer Army. Support card has applicable combat tactic. Okay, let me check on this now. Okay, I've been reading, trying to make sure I get this right. Okay, for the attack. So we compute this strength. We did this. This is the unit that's doing it. We said we had 8 and 5 is 13. This is an adjacent active unit. 14, that's 17. This is the unit he's attacking, that's 5. That's 3 to 1. Okay. They're not attacking across a river. And this is not a city. And it's not a forest. He's in the woods. So there's no modifier there. We're not displayed. Nobody's, their combat strength is not dispersed. So it's 17, it's 5 to 17, that's 3 to 1. Okay. So the combat attack check is this. So if it's greater than 1 to 1 and less than 4 to 1, we roll a die and consult the table. And we take -1 for each of the following. It's turn 16. He does not have elite, neither one of them. The Germans were activated by an army card. No, it's a corps card. So that's not a -1. And support card has an applicable combat tactic. It does. So that's -2. So I can tell you the worst we can roll here is a 10. And -2 would be an 8. Cancel attack if less than 3 to 1. Less than 3 to 1, less 2. So this attack proceeds. So now we're going to conduct the attack. Okay, so now we got to conduct the attack. So I'm going to get the combat procedures. Alright. German units attack all your units in one adjacent hex. We're going to draw one German card in less overwhelming attack. Apply the card's combat tactic, if any. Check supporting card, if any. Apply the card's combat tactic if different and beneficial to the attack. Alright. So I'm going to do a little more reading here. Okay, so in this is going to be this one and this one. We know they're going to attack. So now we begin our combat sequence. First thing we do is draw one German card, and it gets to apply its combat engineers. Okay, so they get combat engineers. And for them, that means, for the German tactics, combat engineers attacker. Add 1 to the attacker's combat strength. In addition, remove an IP marker already present, or if the attacker played engineer's tactic in this combat. Okay, which I did not yet. Okay. So they're going to add 1 to their attack, and they're going to do reinforced battle, which is this guy's going to reinforce. So he makes him. Now we're going to add this up. He's 4. We know this was 13. That's 17, 18, 21. Now I'm playing a card, and that plays his reinforced battle card. I'm also doing a reinforced battle right here, playing this card, and I'm bringing this guy up into the battle. So he's 21, and now I have 3, 5, 8. 21 to 8 is only 2 to 1. So I reinforce my battle and change this thing a little bit. Okay, we draw our combat chits from the cup, 1 by 1, and check to see if the situation on either side of the chit applies to the combat. If both apply, blues return to previous text. Remember, chips equals defending steps. Okay, so maximum chit draw will be number of attacking units with non-bracketed combat strength plus. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get him back over there. 5. He has an elite unit, makes it 6. One, 4, 5, 6. He played 2 tactics. 7, 8. Defender's not out of supply. Defender's not isolated. Screen combat tactics. No. Okay. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 chits. We draw them 1 at a time. So here we go. The first one is, bring my cup down here so I can do it without reaching around it. First chit is Woods, Forest, City. And I believe we are in the woods. Let me check real quick. Yes. So that's a D1. Defenders -1. All right. Next one is greater than 1.5. Yes, that's 2. Remember, the odds were 2 to 1, and they get 8 chits altogether. Do it that way. Odds were 2 to 1, 8 chits. That's 2. Next one. Large attack or December 16th. 3. Dispersed or unsupplied? No. Defender adjacent? Yes. All right, that's 4. Greater than 5 to 1? No. Less than 3 to 1? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greater than 1 to 1? Yes. 6. Defender Elite, no. Defender Green, no. Oh, I do have a Defender Elite. That's who I moved in there. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. SS is going to have a tough time with this one. Greater than 8 to 1? No. Greater than 4 to 1? No. Okay, that's the 8. That's all 8 of them. That one I'll throw in my cup. All right. So, let's see what we have here now. All right, so attackers, we put them with, they have 1 hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the attackers. The defenders are 1, -1, 1, 2, only 1 on the defenders. All right, so I take 1, but he took 5. Wow. He took 5 hits. Woo! That's nice. Okay, so let's see what happens here now. Apply the hits. Calculate the hits. Apply hits to your defending units. Reduce hits by 1 if defender is in a town. He is in a town. Yes. So, no hits on the defenders. We repelled that attack. Apply hits to the attacking German units. -1 if all defending units are any combination of dispersed or out of supply. No. Hits. -1 if assault coordination used. No. Ignore all hits if the defending units are isolated. No. Hits. Number of unfulfilled allied hits. If all the defenders are eliminated and allied units hits, okay, no. Okay. Apply each hit incurred by the attacker units. Apply hits. First hit is a step loss. Second hit, if attacker only 1 step, disperse and reduce 2 hits. Else roll the die. Third hit. Okay, so here we go. First hit is a step loss. That's going to reduce this to 4. 5 by 4. Okay. He's got to take a step loss. 4, 5, and 4. So we'll take it on this guy. He takes a step loss. Okay. Second hit. If attacker only 1 step, disperse and reduce 2 hits. No. Else roll the die. Result is less than or equal to hold value or less than or equal to attacking steps. Take a step loss. Hold value. There isn't any hold value there. Okay, we have less than or equal to attacking steps. So we're down, we have 5 steps. So we have to roll a die. And it is 3. Okay. If it's less than or equal to attacking steps, take another step loss. This guy has 5. We're going to keep him at full strength. This guy will drop down to a 3. They took a step loss. Okay. Third hit. So we're down to 3 hits now. Third hit. If not dispersed, 1 step, 2 plus steps. Roll the die as second hit. Okay, so we're going to roll. And this becomes 2, 3, 4. All right. He gets 8. It's greater than that. So if it was greater, He disperses and absorbs 2 hits. Takes him down to 1. 4th hit if not dispersed. Any hit once dispersed is another step loss. So the last unit also takes a step loss. Oh man. I clobbered them. They ran into the wrong guys there. And they're dispersed. That's it. Okay. That's that battle. Woo! Alright. Man, this took more than I thought it was going to. I'm a little out of practice. I haven't played it for a little while. But that's okay. We're getting back into it. Alright. Now we got to come back. We have another one here. Now these guys have all done theirs. I have this guy who can attack this dispersed unit. He is 5. We already used our support card, so he doesn't have one now. So he has 5. And this guy is a 2. So he's 2 to 1. Okay. 2 to 1. This guy's in broken terrain. He's dispersed. So his strength, we said, was 2, makes him 1. So now he's 5 to 1. So 5 to 1, he's going to attack. 5 to 1, he's going to attack. Okay, for the attack, he draws a German card. And he gets combat engineers. That's going to be +1. So that's going to be a +1 for him. So he's 5 to 1, makes him 6 to 1. So 6 to 1. He only gets 2 chits. So he gets two chits, and he is 6 to 1 on this battle. Okay. So he draws 2 chits. Make sure I don't have anything else to do there. Yep. Okay, here we go. 2 chits, he's 6 to 1. I got to get these off the board. Alright, here we go. First one is Allied Air Power. No. German Air Power. No, that's one. And greater than 2 to 1. Yes. That's it. That's the 2 chits. That one will go in the cup. Okay. Attackers 1, defenders 1. Alright. I got to check my defenders again. So he gets reduced. And played on the wrong one there. We're up here on this guy. He's going to be eliminated. Apply hits, reduce hits by 1 if defender, he's not in a city, town, or anything like that. Apply each hit. First one you have to take, so he's not gonna, he's been eliminated. So that's two units eliminated. 1 hit to the German unit. He's an elite. He'll take the hit. He gets dropped down to there. Okay. Step loss. Priorities. Oh, I should have looked at that. They're both two-step units. Tie, participating stack with the most steps, highest selector number. Oh. He's an 11, he's a 27. I got the right one. Okay. Advance after combat. If the defending units retreated or were eliminated, may advance into the hex regardless of any stacking limits. Bridge, river, one at a time, in ascending order. Do not advance dispersed units, bracketed units, out of fire, units added, even a victory point. Okay. So we start with this unit here first. Check the target hex with the number of advancing units already there. Roll the die. Nope. The second hex, there are choice of hexes to enter. Highest chance of advance. So both these guys would move up to here. And that's as far as they would go, because they would stay in the zone of control right there. Second hex may be following the primary or secondary route if able, otherwise along the path of retreat. There wasn't any. Not move directly from enemy zone to enemy zone. Yeah, he can't move there. He would stay right there then. Okay. All right, that was that guy. And that brings us to this battle. So I have a 3 there. This is 6. That's 2 to 1. Okay. So there, if we go back to this table, we're back to 2 to 1. All right, we're 2 to 1. These guys right here, it's a broken hex. They are in an improved position. So that's +1. So that makes this guy a 4. So now it's 1 to 1. Adjacent to a supplied allied unit, no. Clear terrain, no. Unsupplied or dispersed, no. Cancel, let's see, if it's greater than or equal to 1 to 1. Okay. Modifiers, -1 for December 16th. Attackers include elite units. That's a no. Attackers activated by an army card. No, it's a core card. And we do not have a combat tactic right now. So it's -1. So we roll a die. And the die roll is 3. Okay. So a 3 on this table, less than 1.5 to 1 or attacking from 1 hex. Attack proceeds if less than 1.5 to 1 or attacking from 1 hex. They're going to proceed with their attack. Okay. So they're going to try me at 1 to 1 right here. The Germans draw a card for a combat tactic. It is called Press the Attack. Okay, so let's read about Press the Attack. Draw 1 additional combat chip. Okay, so they currently have 3. They have a combat tactic is in 4. There's no elites. So they have, their odds are 1 to 1. And they get 4 chits. Okay. They get 1 more, so that makes it a 5 now because of that tactic. So here we go. 1 to 1. See what happens on this one. Greater than 9 to 1? No. Less than 4 to 1? Yes. Attacker takes a hit. That's one. Next one. City, no. Forest woods are broken. Yes. Defender -1, that's 2. Large attack, no. Allied air power, no. That's 3. Greater than 3 to 1, no. Less than 2 to 1, yes. It's 4. One more. Dispersed or unsupplied, no. Defender adjacent, no. Okay. Those 2 are done. Attackers take 2 hits, defenders none. I got a -1. So 2 hits on the attackers. Right here. All right. 2 hits on the attackers. So that's going to be they take a step loss. Let's see. They're all 3 2-step units. Participating stack, highest selector number. So 16, he'll take that one. He takes a step loss. Okay. Second step loss. Roll the die. Does he have a hold value? No. Attacking steps. So he's down to 5. So we roll and we get a 2. So it's less than or equal to the steps. His last hit means he takes another step loss. So he had number 15, he drops 1. Okay. That's the end of that combat. Whew. All right. That's the end of that impulse. That one goes away. All right. I get to restack my hand. I got 2 cards. I get 2 more. 1 and 2. So I now have U.S. Army No Command, U.S. 1st Army, 5th, 18th Airborne Corps. I got the 8th Corps there, and I got the 1st Corps. Okay, I think we'll play the deploy all Corps reserves. So we're not going to activate the Corps. We're only going to deploy my Corps reserves. Oh, I don't have any Corps reserves. Oh, wait a minute. That means I would activate these Corps units, but I don't have much there. He's already, he got there. Trying to hang on to these guys a little bit. Event air power, event engineers. So what's the engineer event do for me? Let's see what this does. Event engineers. Roadblocks. Could place 2 roadblock markers, each one in a non-clear road hex and allied supply not adjacent to a German unit. I think maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this event card, and I get to play 2 roadblocks not adjacent to the Germans. I'm going to put 1 down here, and I'm going to put 1 St. Vith would be nice to protect. right there. Okay. In a non-clear road hex and allied supply. That's non-clear, ain't it? Yeah, it's in the woods. That's in a town. Okay. He plays 2 cards. 1, 2. And he got 3 and a 2, so they go this way. And he does not have a event card. So he has right here, German, assign 2 RPs, nope, activate all units in this corps. This is the 47th Panzer Corps. That's this group. So they're all activated now. Oh boy. He's activated. Oops. He's activated. Here, I'll do this real quick. Okay, so first thing we have to do is give this 5th Panzer Army a activation. So we got to roll. So we're going to roll, and it is a 8. And an 8 on the 5th Panzer Army is Bastogne North. So I take my 5th Panzer Army North marker. And I put that over here on Bastogne. So that's where they're headed, which we figured that. Now there's no doubt. Okay, so now we'll start seeing what we're going to do here. The objective marker, it's an Army objective. And now we got to start this our movements. These guys were all supplied because they have supply lines coming through there, so that's not a problem. Units with Army objectives, special moves, they're not going to exit the map. Can't exit the map. Move adjacent to the Meuse, nope. Enter an empty Allied VP hex, nope. Not along there. Okay. Move closer to objective and adjacent to a VP hex. He can move 3. 1. He's not going to get adjacent to that hex. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't get adjacent, so they can't get adjacent to it. Okay. Cause a surround, not in their group. So not going to cause a surround. Not going to open the supply lines. We go to method, apply to infantry, 16 to 22. Enable German movement methods 5 through 9. Enable German infantry to strengthen the German lines. Move adjacent to an Allied Okay, so I got to check this out again. Okay, so I am reading this right, and it's really clear in the rule book. But for the movement methods, 5 through 9, is only for the German infantry, non-mechanized. Okay, move adjacent to an Allied VP hex. I don't have any of those there. Enter an empty town. So this guy, he can move, and he enters the empty town. So he's the first one to move. He's done. Okay. I don't have anybody else that can enter an empty town. Move adjacent to an Allied unit or town. So he can't come out of his zone. He would move 1 to an Allied unit or town. I don't have that. Enter a town occupied only by German armor. Well, I don't have that because he's infantry. So I don't have anybody there that can do that. So that takes us to methods 10 to 13. Follow movement arrows. Okay, here we go. This guy, he's going to move. We'll leave that on him. He moves 1, 2, and now he's at the roadblock. Oh, wait a minute. I'm putting him back because here's what this says. Follow movement arrows. Move if able to expend the unit's full movement allowance in the direction indicated by the movement arrows. He could move 1, 2. He has a secondary 3. Okay, I got to check the roadblock deal here. Okay, it's pretty clear. He can't move because he has to move his full allowance and the roadblock is there. These two guys are next. He can move. He would move 1. That's as far as he can move. And actually, let's take that back. Let's look at that, because in the direction indicated by the movement arrows. So his arrows are here. He would go 1, 2, 3. He crosses the bridge and he can move 1, 2, 3. And that's going to finish the stacking limit there. Okay, this guy, he'd move 5. 1, 2, 3. They can't move. He would move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't move. These guys would move in the woods. That costs him 3, 4, 5. So they could move. 2 of them could move. He has 2 right there. 4. So that's 3, 4, 5. Same thing for him. That moves them there, leaves him there. It actually leaves this guy on top. Like so. Okay. Yeah, they can't get there because once they hit that, see, he's got to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he can't get there because of the woods. Okay. All right. Move closer to Army objective if more than 1 hex adjacent to an Allied unit against which the enemy is count all reserve units. No hex for more than 1 closest to the objective. He can't move. He can move 1 hex. That's his move. I guess I don't think that's actually closer. I'd say he doesn't move. So these guys don't move. There. Right there. Okay. They don't have any combat. So that comes off. And then we play this card. Okay, so we didn't use the support card, so it now becomes the next German command card, and this is special, Vonderheit 1617. It's going to go. So the way that works is we not yet attempted, nope, place it in the first of the following hexes is not occupied by or adjacent to an Allied unit. So we look at 510, 0, 5, 10, and that's where he goes. So we put Vonderheit is going to be up here on 510, right there. And then we have to roll. I just realized I've been moving all this stuff around and you probably haven't seen it. We roll a die. We see what we're going to get here. It is a 9. Okay. So on this 9, he is isolated. He may not move, may not retreat, never activated. Okay, so we put an isolated marker on him. That is this little eye right here. So he's isolated up there. And that's where he sits. Okay, and what I've been doing down here was moving all of these guys. I'm sorry about that. So these guys are all moved up here in this town, but they didn't get to the roadblock. So that's where they sit right there right now. All right, I get to restack my hand, my last card. And again, I'm going to play the engineer's card. It gives me 2 more roadblocks. Okay, so where do we want to put these bad boys at? A couple of roadblocks again. I think one down here. Right there. And I think one I can put it here in Elsenburn. Try to keep him out of them victory points up there. Right there. Okay. Alright. Germans draw 2 cards. They have the 5th Panzer Army and the Panzer Corps, and it goes this way. This is the 66th Corps. That's these guys right in here. Now, they're going to have a core objective. The way this works is, here's their core, and their core objective has a number, 1106, so that's where it starts. So that's where their core objective is right there. That's their core objective. Alright, so we place that. They have an event. They have a command event, which is Commandos. So let's see what that is. Commandos. Discard the top card from the Allied draw deck pile. If exhausted, discard a card of your choice from your hand. Okay, so I got to get rid of one of my cards. So I have this one, I have this one, I have this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. So that's the one I'm going to discard. That's a primary. Goes there. Okay, so I'm down to 2 cards now. So on this guy, the first one's turn 17. We don't do this one, so we activate all units in the core. So we activate these 3 guys right here. 1, 2, 3. I can flip this over. That's his objective, is right there. Core objectives. Upon activating for the first time, place that particular core objective in the marker hex shown. If no allied units within 0 to 3 hexes of the marker, permanently remove it. But we have allied units that are adjacent to it. After they reach their core objective, then they become part of the army objective. Okay. Check for movement. Here we go. This is for core objectives. Move toward allied unit within 0 to 3 hexes of the core objective. Entering adjacent to the most unit possible. So he's within 3, he's within 3. So that's where we're at right here. This guy's a dispersed elite. I like that. Okay. Allied target nearest to the unit. Move toward allied unit within. So we got to look at the numbers. He's a 5, 4, and a 1. So number 1's first. Priorities for allied target. Nearest to the unit. So he would stay right there. Adjacent hex that would surround the allied. Nope. Unoccupied hex, easternmost hex. So he would move here. Take that off. That puts him in there. Okay. That's it for the movement. Those other 2 guys are going to do combat. attempt combat anyway. Okay. So this guy's a 5. This guy's a 3. He's in broken terrain. Oh no, he was already attacked, so he can't attack him. He was attacked up here by this guy. No, it's not the same impulse though. You're right. So he can attack him. It's going to be this guy right here. He's a 5. He's a 3. It's 1-to-1. In a force, in approved position. Makes me a 4. Okay. It is 1-to-1. It's December 16th, -1. Attackers do not have elite units. Supporting card. Assault coordination. All friendly units adjacent to the enemy unit participate. Even if not activated, but unactivated, you not advance after combat. So it's -2. This was a core card that they were activated on. So we roll, and it's a 4. -2 is a 2. Less than 1.5-to-1 or defender. Cancel the attack if less than 1.5-to-1. It canceled the attack. He's not going to attack. Okay. So it's less than 1.5. I think I read that wrong over here when I did that one, but we'll let it go. Okay, these guys, they're going to be 6, and they're 2, but they're halved, so they're going to be 3. Three to 2 is 1-to-1. He's not improved. Adjacent to a supplied unit. No. Clear terrain. No. He's in woods. He is dispersed. That's -1. So that makes me a 1. So he's now 3-to-1. Okay. -1 for December 16th. Attackers don't have elite units. Attackers, core card, supporting card. He can do assault coordination. It's not applicable, so he doesn't really get one there. So it is 7. He was -1 for December 16th, makes that a 6. Less than 2-to-1, they canceled it. So they're not attacking either. Okay, so that's it for that core. They didn't use this one, so now it comes up. Activate the 12th Volksgrenadier and the 3rd FJ Division. Oops. Oh, activate. You can't do that because the 3rd F Division's the 12 Volksgrenadier. I don't think they're on the board. Yes, they are. 12. There they are, right there. Those guys are activated. They're not going to move because they're in contact, I think. We'll check them and see. Okay. Let's check them here. These guys are on. They have an army. Special moves. Nope. They're not going to surround anybody because he's already in contact. Can't move. This is infantry. They're already adjacent to an allied unit, so they don't move, so we're going to go check combat. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're checking his combat. It is 1, 2, and 2 is 4. He's a 3. Not across the river. He's in a broken terrain, but he's got improved position, so he went to 4, so they're 1 to 1. So it's 1 to 1. It's December 16th. He's not elite. Attacker's activated by an Army or Army group card. No, it was a division card. No supporting card. He gets a -1 on this die roll. It's a 4, makes it a 3. If he's less than 1.5, he cancels the attack. Okay, so he cancels that attack. So he's not doing that. That gets rid of that card. Okay, I still have 2 cards left. I'm going to deploy the 1st Army, the 5th Corps Reserves. And so I have the 1st Division here. Here we go. Allied Reserve deployment in the Allied Corps area in road hex. At least 3 hexes away from a non-isolated German. 2 hexes of a map hedge. Could do that. Not in or adjacent to an occupied German detachment marker within 3 hexes of someone in the same division. This is the 1st Division. We don't have that division on the board yet. If not, within 3 hexes in the same corps. So I can be within 3 hexes of any of these guys. At least 3 hexes away from a non-isolated Germans. 1, 2, so I can't put him there. 1, 2, 2, 3 there. 1, 2, 3. I can put him in here. 1st Division right here. That's where we'll put him. Okay. All right. The Germans get 2 cards. 1, 2. This is a 2 and a 1. He does not have a command event. This is the 85th Corps. That's down here. Again, sorry. I put in my 1st Division up here. Okay, the 85th Corps is right down here. And we start with activate all units in this corps. So the 85th, he is going to be part of the 7th Panzer Army. So the 7th Army, we activate these guys. We're going to have 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we have to see where his 7th Army is going to be at for their objective. So 7th Army, we roll a die. And the die roll is 5. Okay. It's on the 1 to 6. 7th Army, 1 to 6 is Edelbruck south. So 7th Army, he gets Edelbruck south. This is Edelbruck right here where I have that roadblock. Okay. All right, now we check for movements. Special moves. Nope. Can they move into that hex there? There's a bridge right there. I think somebody can. Enter empty Allied VP hex and stop. He can't get into it, but he can move adjacent to it. Oh, he can't because he's in a zone of control. Yeah, he can move out of that and into that one. He moves there, takes that off of there. Oh, yeah, he can still move across that river. He can't move from one zone of control to another. That's the thing. So he can't move. He can't move there. Yeah, so no, they don't have that. Which means he can't cause surround. Neither one of them can. Okay. Applies to infantry. This guy is infantry. But he can't move. He's adjacent to an allied unit right here. Inner town. They're both adjacent to allied units already. They're not going to move, so they're going to combat. Okay, here we go. This guy's a 2, 21, 6, 5, 6, 7. This guy will go first on his combat. Okay. So he is a 5 halved. It's 2.5. So it makes him 3 to 3 is 1 to 1. We are in a town and a forest. Plus 1 to him makes him 4. We're still 1 to 1. -1. Activated by an army. No, it was a corps card. Assault coordination. He doesn't have anybody. So he's strictly, yes he does. He's got somebody there that can, so he's got a -2. That's a 9, makes that a 7. A 7 is less than 3 to 1, he cancels, so he's not going to attack. Alright, this guy is three, 6, 9, 10, so that makes him 5 to 3. Which is 1 to 1. -1. Five is a 4, less than 2 to 1. He cancels his attack, so he's not attacking. So neither of those guys did anything. So that's it for that corps. This one moves over. This is back to the 47th again. And we're going to do activate in the Lehr divisions. 2nd Panzer and the Lehr. That's these guys right here. 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 Okay. We'll see what they're going to do. Alright, these guys on the army objectives. They're going to go not going to cause surround. Infantry only. Move adjacent to an ally. He can't because of the roadblock, so they're not moving. He doesn't have any other infantry. These guys were all armor. Okay. Enter town. Okay, now they have to use their full movement allowance. So they can't. They won't move. That takes care of those guys. Same thing happens here. They can't move their full. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't either. So they don't move. Okay, that's it. Alright, I got one card left. It's the 8th Corps. We don't have any reserves to deploy. Activate all units in the Corps. Oops, that was his primary. Activate all units in the Corps. So we have him. We have him. We have 2 units. Yeah, they're not going to do anything. I don't have any support for them. So we're not doing anything there. He has 1, 2 cards. A 2 and a 1. Okay. Combat. Event. Consolidation. So we have a command event for the Germans. It says consolidation. Add 1 replacement step to the German formation on the command card for this impulse. These guys, do they have anybody that's down? Yep. He gets to add a step back. He was the only one that was down 1. So he's back. He got his strength back. And that uses that card up. Oh, I take that back. He doesn't get that back because I'm on the wrong unit. I'm on this unit. There. He doesn't have anybody down, so he does not do the event. Okay. Activates all these units. He's got 3 of them right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, we know they won't move because they're up against. So the only guys that can move are these guys. So, get my paper out here. Start checking them again. Let's see, these guys are part of the 5th Panzer Army, which already has an objective, right? Yep, 5th Panzer Army North. So they already have an objective. All right. So, this is combined arms, which makes them mechanized infantry. Yep. So they don't do any of 5 through 9. So we go here. His movement arrows go up, which puts him in there, so he can't use his full movement, so he doesn't move. Extended move, move closer to the army objective. He's 4 to 2, so he's 2 to 1. He doesn't have 3 to 1. They could be there though. 8 to 3 is 2 to 1. Yeah, so they don't have that. Count all German units adjacent to the target, all active. Closest to the objective. So he would move, these guys would move across this way, across the river. Okay, which brings us to this one, which is now the 85th. He was activated on the last impulse. Pretty sure. Yep. So he doesn't do anything, so that card's done. Right, I don't have a card, so their last card is the 1st SS Panzer Division. He has one card. It's going back up here now. And it's activate the 1st SS and the 12th SS. Okay. First SS. Put him up here on top. First SS. Right here. Here's the 12th. They're dispersed. I don't think they're going to be doing anything. Okay. So we check movements. He has an army movement. These guys are armored and mechanized infantry. These guys are dispersed. They're not going to move. They don't move. Yeah, I can take this off. They're not going to do anything. Okay. Follows his movement arrows. He's going to move 5, 1, 2, then he stops, so he's not going to do that. Move closer to the army objective, which is up here. They could move here, right, which is adjacent to an allied unit. Others have an advantage of 3 to 1. He is 3, 4 to 1, 3 to 1. It's not a 3 to 1 advantage. No hex or more than 1 closest to the objective. 1 hex to a hex closer to the unit's army objective. He's a 3, 5. He could move up here. I should be looking at this guy first, though. He would move. Would he move up to there? That's the question, right? Yes, I think he would. He would move up. He's a 3. Well, 1 unit only gets to do that. Adjacent to an allied unit against which the immune unit combat strength of 3 to 1. He's a 6 and he's a 3. That's a 2 to 1. So I would say they don't move. Okay. I can do combat check though. He's a 2 to 1. Not across a river. He is improved, which makes it a 1 to 1. He's attackers include he's elite. He's elite. Oh, he's not elite. He's green. So he's -1, -2. He's got a 4, which is a 2. If less than 1.5 to 1, and it is, so he's not going to attack. Okay. That's the end of that. Okay, so now we have to check on our daily sequence of play. Okay, Don't have to worry about the victory cards. Discard your hand. We did that. There's no combat chips. Remove all dispersed. Okay. So, I didn't do anything with these two guys. I surely did not. Man, I messed that up, didn't I? That would have been them. They would have had yeah, I gotta do this. This is 8. He's a 4, he's a 1. He could go first. He's half. He's a 4 to 2. That's a 2 to 1. Or he's 8 to 3. That's 2 to 1. Actually, he's 2. 6 to 3. It's still 2 to 1. And you know what? He would have had that assault coordination. Yeah, I messed that up. Okay, so we're going to give him that, which means he could use him too. Yes, so let's do this. Okay, I messed that up, but let's see if he has the battle. But he does it on this one, 2 to 1. Okay, you're not in an improved position. Already halved him. It's -1. He's an elite. -2. A 2 makes that a 0. He's going to attack. Okay, so here we go. He does use this assault coordination. Gonna knock everything over here in a minute. Okay. So assault coordination means all friendly units adjacent to the unit participate in the attack. Alright. So that's these 2 units. Well, I'm glad I caught that. Almost messed that up. Okay. 8, 12 to 3. Sorry. 2, 6, 10 to 3 is 3 to 1. So they're at 3 to 1. So that's the odds right now. It's 3 to 1. Okay. And they are 1, 2, 3. He has an elite. That's 3. And he's got a +1 there. That's 4. So he gets 4 chits. 4 chits. It's 3 to 1. Right here. 4 chits, 3 to 1. Here we go. Oh. City or forest? What's he in? Yes. City or forest. And all these go back into the cup now. Okay. That helps me. It's 1. The next one is attacker artillery. No. Defender artillery. No. It's 2. Next one. Greater than 7 to 1. Greater than 4 to 1. Nope. It's 3. One more. This one is attacker, only attacker armor. Yes. Okay. These 2 come off. I take 1 hit and he takes 1. So he gets reduced. And he's going to get reduced. And let's see, the order of that reduction is, let's see, otherwise die roll of die. Let's see, applying step losses. 4-step unit. What's he got? He's a 3-step, 2-step, 2-step. Okay, so it goes then to a 2 or 3-step unit. If none, then a 1-step. If more than one choice, use with the most total steps. Then higher selector number. Finally, you choose. Oh, he has the most, so he goes. That's 62 over here. So he comes off, and that one goes there. That unit comes off the board. Okay. There we go. Now I'm all caught up. Now let's see what we have to do. We have to take off the dispersed units. So this comes off. This comes off. Get this out of the way. Throw them in the cup. This comes off up here. Any other dispersed? I don't see any more dispersed units. Okay. Check detachment markers, don't have that. Advance the day marker and start a new day. Okay. This will move to the 17th and we'll be ready to set up for the next day. I'll have to go through my decks and gather up all that, figure out what we got. All right, that's where we're at, and so that's where I'm going to call it. I know this was a long video, but we did quite a bit. We did the setup and then we played the December 16th, so hopefully you don't mind having the long video. And we'll see where it all, how it all comes out, right? And this is fun. This is different than the German solo. I got a lot of stuff going on. It's not quite so easy for the Germans to just come blasting through. But we do have some issues down here, but that roadblock's really helping me right now because they can't use their full movement there. All right. I'm sure if I made a mistake, somebody will point it out to me. Hopefully not too many. Oh, I guess I should assign my victory point here. For every 2 units, they get 1 victory point. That way I can get those guys off the board. Okay, we'll do that. All right. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And here we are. We're all set to go to December 17th. All right. I'll see you guys next time.